All right, welcome back to baseball. Going into some opening week news, we are talking about the two aces of the New York Yankees and the Phillies. Both got pretty much destroyed on opening day. But CC, which pitcher do you think was more disappointing, Cole Hamels or CC Sabathia? I'd like to start this one off by saying CC Sabathia, but for the simple fact that he only lasted 5 innings yesterday. Cole Hamels, yes, of course, got creamed, letting up big, 3 home runs. But CC, I don't expect that kind of performance from him, especially on opening day. I thought, he could have done a lot better, and he gave up a good amount of hits. But I think hopefully he'll regain his game down the line. But when I saw that CC Sabathia only really lasted the 5 innings and gave up those 8 hits and 4 runs, I was kind of shocked. But
you're definitely surprised when CeCe's getting rocked at home against the Sox, especially a team that's looking to rebuild right now. They had Jackie Bradley up, Jr. Will Middlebrooks is in the lineup. They have a lot of youth, so you think CeCe Yvette's going to be able to handle that. You think he's going to take care of it. Cole, it's not that surprising. They're at home against a rebuilt Braves team, even more rebuilt than how good they were last year. You have Justin Upton taking them yard. Freddie Freeman's going to be rocking everyone this year, so it's really understandable. Plus, he can't throw over 70, so I wasn't that surprised that No offense, but if he's gonna give up hits, they're gonna be bombs. You know that.
Yeah.
You've known that with Cole for a while, but you really are looking for CC to be a workhorse for this team this year. They're pretty deprived, so you want him to be winning games like that. It's just even opening day.
I'm going to disagree on this one, not even just because I'm a Phillies fan. I'm not trying to be biased or anything. Both didn't look good, obviously. Yeah. The numbers were kind of equal. I think CC gave up 4 earned runs, Hamels 5, something like that. But I'm going to have to go with Cole here, just for the main fact that, CC Sabathia was already the ace of the Yankees. We knew that. This is the first year that Hamels was officially opening day starter over Halladay and Lee. Halladay even said Cole deserves the job. Cole got the new huge contract, millions of dollars. So I expected him to come out and, just pitch like crazy. But he gives up 3 home runs, granted to a very good Atlanta team. I will give the Braves credit. I think they're the favorites in the East this year over the Nationals. That's just me personally. I think they are.
Because by the time the Nets shut down Strasburg, they're pretty
of course, Strasburg's bound to get hurt again or something. Yeah. But it's just for me, giving up 3 home runs to Atlanta. And the thing is, the Yankees lost 8-2, correct? 2 runs?
Yes.
So, Yankees offense scores 2 runs. You're not going to win when you score 2 runs a game. The Phillies are able to put 5 up on the board and yet still lose with your ace on the mound. Yeah, granted, it's the first game of the season, but that's a rough loss. That's tough. So that's why, just for me, I think, just for the fact that they could have won the game, they played well enough. Hamels is the reason that you lost, and he's your ace. He's your $140 million guy, whatever. For that reason, I say Hamels more disappointing.
I think that's somewhat justified by the standpoint that the Braves have a horrible starting rotation. People don't even realize that it's the bullpen that's really the strong point for that team. They're very nondescript when it comes to starting pitching. So you are looking for aces like Cole. You're looking for you can almost say that the Phillies could look for a sweep opening week with their rotation going against the Braves.
Yeah, I mean, you would think it, but the Braves have a great lineup.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Honestly,
you think they need time to mesh, but obviously they're.
I was not expecting. I thought the whole Upton thing might be a little over exaggerated. I thought they overpaid for BJ definitely, but Justin Upton, man. I think he's one of the most underrated guys in the league, seriously. Not even just because of the fact that he went yard on Cole yesterday. I've always liked him, and as soon as the Braves signed him, I had a gut feeling that the Phillies were going to be in trouble with this. And he's a heck of a player.
Well, going on to the other New York team, talking about the Mets, their opening day, they got a big 11-2.
Let's talk about the only local team that didn't get a nationally syndicated game.
We'll play the Padres.
Well, I mean,
we won.
But I guess I'll let you take this one. What were your first impression of the New York Mets?
Everyone needs a cool down right now. Everybody needs to relax. Take a breather, take a chill pill. It's fine. Don't worry about it. We're going to suck. We're going to get there. Don't worry. We're so good in April. We're so good in May. Even June a little bit. We're pretty good. We get around All-Star break. Everyone's like, holy crap, they're in second place. What's going on here? And then it's just like, it's the Hindenburg. It's really bad. It's going to happen. Don't worry. We're going to bring up people way too early. People are going to get hurt. David's going to strain his back carrying the team on it. Everything's just going to go wrong. It's going to go horrible. But yesterday was a very good sign for what the Mets are going to be able to do. I really do think that even if it's against the worst team in the NL, that's fine. Colin Cowgill is a hustler. Yeah, everyone's raving. They're saying he's like a young Nick Swisher. You see it when he plays. He's going to work himself. He's going to work hard to stay in that lineup. Marlon Byrd, I like that he made a good first impression. He had 2 RBI. David Wright's hustling all over the place, of course. John Neese is going to be a workhorse. He wanted to be a workhorse. The big story was that he made it into the 7th inning yesterday. He only gave up 2 runs. That's a great quality start. Mets actually led the league last year in quality starts. You're going to see very good starting pitching from them this year. aside from everything else that you're going to see youth, and you're going to see very good starting pitching. The bullpen's going to be horrible. They're going to give up everything. That's why we're going to have like 60 wins, but we're still going to beat the Marlins, so it's okay. But
as long as you finish ahead of them.
Yeah.
Finish ahead of them.
When push comes to shove, yesterday was not a sign of what the Mets are, and yet it kind of was, I guess.
Okay. Real quick, a little off topic. Did you guys see at the Marlins opening day tickets were buy one, get one free?
Yeah,
notice that?
But that's what happens when you also have like 10 people.
We have $1 billion stadium, and you're giving out buy one get one free tickets.
Come to
please
our
finish
games.
ahead of them.
Please.
Like for you guys, please.
They just need to destroy.
That's a disaster. Even the mayor doesn't want them there.
All right, let's just.
But all right, back to the Mets, to the New York Rights. Yeah, the early impression. It's one game against the San Diego Padres. They look good. Like you said, Nice had a great game. Come on, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. It's one game against the Padres. We're expecting this team to, as you said, just fall apart eventually. They, like you said, also they always start out well, seem to fall back. I have no early impression of them. I'm expecting them to be fourth in this division. I expect whoever ends up in third, whether it's Philly, Washington, or Atlanta, to end up decently ahead of them. No disrespect to you, but also you're wearing an R.A. Dickey shirt, and he's not even with you guys anymore. There's your Cy Young gone, and Santana's out for the year. Yeah, you'll see the youth with the starting pitching. David Wright, as long as he stays healthy, he's always going to have a stellar year. But that's the whole team. David Wright's the whole team. They're just
not the whole team.
Well, lineup-wise,
I
don't know.
Maybe the youth can come in handy for them because a lot of teams that have young lineups often have a lot more heart and want to go through and push it together maybe more.
Maybe in a few years they can get it going.
That's why they stay in it every year. That's why they're in it. That's why they're in it last year. You have guys like Daniel Murphy, you have Ruben Tejada, you guys who are still trying to prove themselves, even though they're already in the starting lineup. They're gonna work hard. They're gonna hit well for average. But when push comes to shove, we don't have power. We don't have a competent cleanup hitter beyond Ike Davis, and he's barely gonna hit over his weight.
Yeah.
So it's really just gonna come down to experience, and we have the least of it.
All right. Well, now we're gonna go into a little bit of some hockey. The Flyers now trying to make that last push for the playoffs. The question is, do they have it in them to make it?
Well, at the moment, they're 4 points back of the 8th spot, on the big 2-game winning streak that they're on now. But that was a nice win against the Caps the other night to come back. They have, I believe, Montreal this week, which would be a huge win for them. I think they definitely have a chance for the push here. It's been a very up-and-down season. The whole thing has been their inconsistency with this team. Talbot being out does hurt, but they, I think, are going to replace him with McGinn time again, which I'm perfectly fine with. I think they still need to make a big trade here before the deadline. They got Rosehill.
I disagree.
You really?
I disagree because you know what? If you're going to make a big trade and try to make a last, the whole point of your trade is to try to make a last-second push. Maybe you don't try to give up anything and wait to see what free agency brings.
It depends what they go for. You're hearing all these Ryan Clough rumors, and that shouldn't happen. They're talking Couturier for Clough. That would be the worst possible move. But if you're going to go for a defenseman, I'm hearing like Eric Johnson, for instance. Yeah. That'd be a very solid pickup for them because right now the defense has been the problem all year. Very inconsistent defense, and you can blame Briz every now and then. Well, the injuries too, of course. But I don't blame Briz for this season. It's just the defense around him. Luckily, Grossman is actually skating again, so maybe we can get him back to block some shots for us. But the only thing making me think the Flyers can't make the push here, which I think they'll make it close. If they don't get it, they'll be close. There's just too many teams right there. You got Washington, you got Carolina, Winnipeg, or not Winnipeg, the Rangers. Yeah. Just all right there. It's just like I don't know what they have left.
I pretty much have them out as well. I think
I want to say
the injuries have got pretty much killed them, and that the defense can't really step up. But we're going to move on real quickly. Sorry, Kevin, to not allow you into this conversation.
It's fine.
But I guess we'll start with you. The Pens having a recent string of bad injuries. How does this, affect them as
the horrible.
Yeah, getting pucks to the face never hurts. But how will this affect them as the playoffs begin to get near?
Well, let's just talk about the fact that taking a puck to the mouth is just never a good thing. Yeah. Let's start with saying that. Obviously, every year, you guys know I'm not a big hockey fan, but I know enough to know that Penguins are favorites every year. They have the best player in the league. They have Malkovich still, right?
Malkin.
Yeah, Malkin.
Yeah,
sorry, Malkovich.
It's okay.
What am I saying? I'm sorry. Yeah, I know the guys. Even I know who the guys are, and I'm aware of this. And if you're having injuries this soon heading into it, I feel like they are just going to lose that momentum going in. Like you saw last year with Derek Rose with the Bulls. They lose him. They
lose the sixth series.
They're like, oh, what an upset. And it was like, they didn't have Derek Rose. Yeah. It's just like, it's going to be hard to imagine a dominant Penguins team without Sidney Crosby.
I have to agree. I think, they're still clearly going to make the playoffs. Playoff-wise, the East doesn't really seem like much of a challenge to them. So I think, if they can get them back before the Stanley Cup, I think they can still make the Stanley Cup. This team is just that good. Iginla was definitely a big addition as well. And I think, despite the fact that your captain's out, Paul Martin's out, I still think no one can stop him in the East.
I have to agree with you on that. I mean, as the Penguin hater I am, I really wish I couldn't say this, but I said it earlier in the year that they were the favorites, and they still are without question. Even without Crosby in the lineup, you still got Malkin, you got Iginla now, you got Letang, you got a team with just so much depth. You got Matt Cook having an awesome year, James Neal. It's just a team full of depth, and no matter who goes down, you got somebody there to fill the spot. And the only team I can see them giving a chance to beat them in the playoffs is maybe Montreal.
I don't even see Montreal.
I don't. Even then, it's pushing
Montreal.
it.
There's no one in the East.
No.
That just is like.
If the Rangers can get in, I think they're a threat in a 7-game series. I really do.
How good is the West though?
The West is I think, in my opinion, a lot better than the East. It seems to be that way in both hockey and basketball.
Right now, I think Pittsburgh's easily the favorite in the East, even without Crosby. I think they're unfortunately going to make the finals. From there, I don't know if they're going to win the whole thing, but I just don't think there's any stopping this team, quite honestly. I think it's just like the Heat in the NBA, quite frankly.
Yeah, I have to agree with you as well, but I still got the Pens going in the East. But we're going to step off aside, and when we come back, we have our trivia question of the week, final thoughts in game ball.